Is the mic on?
Check, check, check. Oh.
Keep going, Courtney.
Well, okay, I'll at least start while he does things. Okay, all right, welcome. Thanks everybody for being here today. I'm Courtney Fuchs, Vice President of the Unity Council. I just want to reflect that at this Christmas time we think about what gifts we have in our lives, and this community is such a gift to each other, to our spiritual path, and really I think the energy radiates out to our community, so I'm going to say we're also a real blessing to our community, so it's an honor to be part of this wonderful community. Do we have anybody who is here for the first time that did not get a welcome handout? We have people standing by. Nope, looks like we got everybody. Thank you. If you are new, there's coffee and treats over by the bookstore. You're welcome to grab those. Welcome to all of our online participants. We consider you part of our community as well, even if we can't see you. And we have a very good group that follow us online, so it's really wonderful to know that they're out there too. Our speaker today is Rev Jim. The reader is Barbara Weimar. And the musician is John Magny. And we have the choir today. The chaplain is Reverend Sharon, and she will be down in the Myrtle Room just after the service. So if you need any prayer support, please go down there and have a prayer time with her. Real quick, there's a basket of water bottles over there that have been left over the months. If you are missing one, please check those out. They need to go to their homes. Julie's going to be passing a clipboard for signing up. There it is. See, look at all those. Surely one of those is yours. Julie's passing a clipboard for volunteers for the next 3 months for greeting, doing the reading, and running the slides. So if you'll pass that around and put your name on it, and then if you're not sure of dates, you can always either email her or get on her email list, and you can sign up afterwards as well. Reverend Sharon is continuing to do Heart Talks every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. However, she would not be meeting on Christmas or New Year's Day. So, but the regular schedule will take back over in January. And, okay, we better get these guys started, but let's be fast. Let's see. You probably need a slide, I'm guessing.
We're going to have her do first.
Okay. Well, he said it won't fit. That's okay.
Okay, great. Hey, happy holidays, everybody. Good to see everyone. So each year, the outreach team selects a worthy cause to receive holiday gifts. And this year, we have chosen the Sanctuary Apartments here in Fort Collins, and they are for residents, any subsidized housing. And the residents are anywhere from 62 to 93, so it's a whole range of age group that we're serving. Now, you probably noticed there are 2 giving trees right here on the tables. And some of you, thank you, you've taken an ornament, and I see some gifts in there, so thank you for that. Anyone else can please grab one of those so that we can bring gifts to the residents this year. Now, the first giving tree is for ornaments where the residents have a wish list. So you'll see specific gifts. The second tree is for gift cards for either King Super or Safeway. And we're looking at $10 gift cards. So you have 3 different ways of giving this year. You can give gifts, wrap them, bring them back by Wednesday. Yeah, I think Tuesday. Or you can do the gift cards, bring those back. There's a stocking, put them in the stocking. No gift wrapping necessary. Or the third way is myself and Doug are happy to take any amount of money and we will do the shopping. We will purchase the gift cards and make sure the residents get them. So all of that's right there. Now I have a really exciting thing to tell you. On Friday, December 20th at 1 o'clock, the residents have invited any of us to join them for their holiday party. And I think that's really special. That gives us an opportunity not only to give monetarily or gift-wise, but also to be there and to share. And now this is so cool. Guess who's going to show up? God, you guys are smart. Santa Claus and his favorite elf. Both are going to show up. And now, here's even a cooler thing. Santa Claus and his favorite elf are here today. Yeah. However, and I don't know, figure this one. They're disguised. Santa is disguised as Jim Weimar. I know. Why? I don't know. You don't argue with Santa. You get on the naughty list, right? So, but Jim Weimar and his favorite elf is Barbara Weimar, which, yes. So they will be there. But Santa showed up today because he wanted to make sure I did a good job on this. So if you are interested, because Santa is a celebrity, and you always have to make reservations when you're going to see a celebrity, you need to contact Barbara, and she will give you the details about where to go and all of that. So I hope that you will take advantage of that and also give from your heart of the gifts. So Santa, how'd I do? All right, thank you, Santa.
Keep it moving, guys. Here we go.
Okay, I'm going to reduce mine and actually step down here. I just want to thank everybody for their wonderful donations for our end of the year fundraising that's going on, and just remind this comes from the heart. It's a love offering that we're giving here, so thank you very much. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you. Let's go. Next one.
Okay, next drumming group, this Thursday, 5 p.m., Roomy Room. We don't compete, we just share our rhythms with each other. Come and join us, bring your drum and rhythm piece. Roomy Room, 5 o'clock on Thursday. Thank you.
This is on behalf of the Polestar community. Wednesday night, a regular gathering, but Santa is also going to be there as well, so it's family friendly. Potluck. Saturday is an all-day meditation, but it's broken up into sections, so you can come whenever you want. There will be yoga, walking, meditation, chanting, readings, lots of stuff. That's all. Those are both here. And then on Christmas Eve, we are caroling for our elders at various locations. It might be one of that place as well, mid to late morning. Specifics are on polestarvillage.com. Thank you.
Good morning. Friday night, winter solstice, come ride the peace train out on the edge of darkness. There's always a peace train. We're going to have a lot of music, a lot of reflection, a lot of community being together. And then afterwards.
At the end, we're going to have treats. And specifically, we're going to have, I hope I say it right, wassail? Wassail. Okay, yeah, and I'm going to make it, so wish me luck.
Okay, we're going to talk really fast. This is personal shameless self-promotion. We are in a band together, and we want you to come on Wednesday night.
And if you like jazz and Christmas, you're going to want to be there.
Kelsey's singing, I'm playing bass, and we're called the Jazz Section. 5 to 8, avos. Come for 20 minutes, have a drink. This is to help nobody other than ourselves.
And spread joy and cheer. All right, and there's 4 other people too.
All right, okay. All right, that was good. Everybody did a good job going fast. Real quick, promotion of the bookstore. If you still need some Christmas shopping, Christmas ideas, we got some brand new book titles in, some of the classics, and then we still have our gift table of little, really beautiful, spiritually oriented gifts for those special people on your list. And the community lunch brunch is going to Cava. All right. There's a little bit more, but we better stop, so we're going to do that. So let's go on and take a deep breath and center ourselves. And we'll say our unity prayer together. Our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize God within and to radiate that love to the world.
All right, choir, come on up.
So we have our Advent wreath, and today is the 3rd Sunday of Advent, and it's about remembering peace and love and joy. So we're on a 4th Sunday journey to Advent, and it's a way to renew ourselves in our awareness of the Christ presence within us. So today we light 3 candles. The first candle was hope, then peace, and today is love. And we know that Christmas really happens when it happens in our heart. And the 3rd candle that represents love is God love. And love is in us and through us. So light your life with love this week.
All right, thank you. Can we get some singers up here? We'll start with a song called God is With Us. And I'll just take this time to say we are going to have a choir rehearsal this Wednesday at 4 p.m. for the Christmas Eve show. Okay, here we go. God is with us. God is with us. God is with us now. God is with us. So people be of good cheer. Let your spirit soar above. There is nothing to fear, but there is everything to love. Yes, people be of good cheer. Let your spirit soar above. There is nothing to fear, but there is everything to Can you feel the power? And the love, the peace, the joy. Oh, God is with us. Is with us. God is with us now. God is with us. Is with us. God is with us. So people be of good cheer. Let your spirit soar above. There is nothing to fear. There is everything to love. I say, can you feel the spirit? Yes, I feel the spirit. Can you feel that presence? Yes, I feel the presence. Can you feel that power? Yes, I feel the power. And the love, the peace, the joy. Well, can you feel the spirit? Yes, I feel the spirit. Can you feel that presence? Yes, I feel the presence. Can you feel the power? Yes, I feel the power. And the love, the peace, the joy. And God is with us. Is with us. God is with us now. God is with us. Is with us. God is with us. So people be of good cheer. Let your spirit soar above. There is nothing to fear, but there is everything to love. All right, thank you. The choir will be back later, but Barbara's going to do a reading for us here. Oh, that mic there? We'll be up right after this with Chris in between, right after her.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so my reading today comes from the Dalai Lama in his book, An Open Heart. The Dalai Lama writes of empathy as the first step toward developing a compassionate heart. He states we must develop our empathy or closeness to others. We must also recognize the gravity of their misery. The closer we are to a person, the more unbearable we find that person's suffering. The closeness I speak of is not physical proximity, nor emotional one either. It is a feeling of responsibility or a concern for that person. He continues to say, to develop such closeness, we must reflect upon the virtues of cherishing the well-being of others. We must come to see how this brings oneself happiness and peace of mind. As we look around us at this building, or the buildings we live and work in, the roads we travel, the clothes we wear, or the food we eat, we must acknowledge that we are all provided for by others. None of these things would exist for us to enjoy and make use of if it were not for the kindness of so many people unknown to us. As we contemplate in this manner, our appreciation for others grows, and so does our empathy. In closing, he writes, "May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find new hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound to be free. May the weakness and the weak find power, and may their hearts join all in friendship."
All right, Chris McShay is going to lead us in a song that Rev Jim picked out for today. Walk a Mile in My Shoes.
If I could be you and you could be me for just 1 hour, if we could find a way to get inside each other's mind, if you could see you and through my eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you've been blind. Oh, yeah. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. Now your whole world you see around you is just a reflection, and the laws of common say you're gonna reap just what you sow. Oh no, unless you live a life, of total perfection, you better be careful of every stone that you should throw. And yet we spend the day throwing stones at one another, 'cause I don't think or wear my hair the way you do. Well, I may be just common people, but I'm your brother. 'Cause when you strike out and try to hurt me, it's hurting you. Lord have mercy, walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Before you abuse, criticize, and confuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. walk a mile in my shoes. Before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
Help us all.
Oh yeah, just walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Before you abuse, criticize, and confuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Oh. Before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
Wow, thank you, John and Chris. Don't need my message now. You got the whole thing. Got the whole thing. What I wanted to talk today about is another one of those spiritual practices. During the last lesson I gave about a month ago, I talked about 3 of them. Well, today I'm only going to cover 1. But I believe these spiritual practices are necessary for each one of us, every one of us. The one today, in fact, let me just kind of review where we were last time. The other 3 that we talked about is, first of all, accept the things you cannot change, but change the things you can. And so many of us in unity so often forget about the second part of that. So, oh, I'm helpless. Nothing I can do about that. But there are things that we can all do. Write a letter. Talk to somebody. Encourage somebody. There's always something we can do. Second one, the present. In fact, I'm going to read you a part of a little poem here about the present. There are 2 days in a week that we should ignore. One of those days is yesterday, with its mistakes and cares, its faults and blunders, its aches and its pains. Yesterday has passed forever. All the money in the world cannot bring back yesterday. We cannot undo a single act we performed. We cannot erase a single word we said. Yesterday is gone. There's another day that we should ignore. The other day is tomorrow. With its possible adversaries, its burdens, its promises, tomorrow is beyond our control. Tomorrow, the sun will rise, either in splendor or behind a mask of clouds, but it will rise. Until it does, we've got no stake in tomorrow, no stake whatsoever, for it is yet unborn. So that's the lesson about staying in the present, staying into the day. Don't borrow tomorrow's troubles or continue to regurgitate and talk all over again and again and again and again about what happened yesterday or last year or, in my case, 50 years or more ago. And then the third thing we talked about, if you want to change your life, if there's anything in your life that you'd like to change, what do? Change your thoughts. Change your thoughts. Change your thoughts. Because our thoughts bring about what we think about. Our thoughts are things. So one of the reasons that we struggle to maintain the present moment is because the current conditions don't agree with our expectations or preferences. The struggle usually originates when we begin slapping labels on everything and everyone judging what lies before our eyes as preferable or unpreferable, right or wrong, good or bad, or less than perfect, instead of letting things be just the way they are. When we judge, we drive a wedge. And that wedge is between ourselves and others, and the wholeness that each one of us have come here to experience. The lingering question is, why? Why should we intentionally do such a thing and separate ourselves from one another and the wholeness that is offered to every one of us? This is an old story. It started in the most ancient of texts. For instance, in the book of Genesis, there's a story in the Garden of Eden. Some say that story has to do with the fall of man. I don't believe that. In fact, Matthew Fox wrote a whole book on it. He calls it the original blessing. God created, according to that story, and blessed everything and said everything was good. In fact, that ancient story is really copied from another ancient story from Babylon. It's called the Legend of Gilgamesh. That's what the Babylonians believed. And the main point of that story is the Adam eating from the tree of good and evil. Good and evil, good and evil. Good and evil is that thing that we're making a choice. It's different than the story as it's normally translated. In fact, I'm going to give you a picture here. This lady was very instrumental in the women's suffrage movement years ago. And here's what she said in her writings. Don't find fault with a man that limps or stumbles along the road, unless you have worn the moccasins he wears or stumbled beneath the same load. There may be tears in the soles that hurt, though hidden away from view. The burden he bears placed on your back may cause you to stumble and fall too. Don't sneer at the man who is down today, lest you have felt the same blow that caused his fall and felt the shame that only the falling know. Here, her poem goes on several stanzas more, but you get the message. You get the message about judgment. No one is born with judgment or feeling superior or inferior to anyone else. They're all learned behaviors that come to each one of us at an early age, almost as early as breathing. It began lurking in our minds and hearts from the first day we experienced our otherness from our mother. Within the first few years of life, we went from a cozy, warm feeling of oneness to a sense of two-ness, which is our introduction to the belief in duality. Suffice to say, we did not like that. At the best, that realization was disconcerting because it was our first experience of separation from that which we knew as our source of nurturing and food and love and protection. The feeling of oneness completely embraced us before we took on birth. Then there was that moment when fear set in. We were on our own. We were realizing that an unconscious need to protect ourselves by attacking anyone or anything that triggered a sense of otherness within us. That was also when fear knocked at our door for the first time, and certainly not for the last time. Well, in talking about this judgment that we all have adopted in our society, I think there's three things that we need to define. I'm going to define these three words: superiority, inferiority, and hate. And I'm going to give you the definition of each of these words. Superiority is found in arrogance. The belief in superiority is driven by the fear that if others might see us for what we mistakenly believe ourselves to be, we'll lose out. The I'm better than you syndrome held in place by judgment is driven by the fear that the opposite might actually be true. Superiority is in truth inadequate in that it performs arrogantly, trying to persuade the world that it is sufficient, even to the extent of believing its own act. Second word up there, inferiority. Inferiority appears to be the polar opposite of superiority, but it's not. It's driven by judgment, only inverted. Inferiority is a fear turned inward under the cloak of shame. When we judge ourselves or others as less than or inferior, we have brought the fear of not being enough. Not being enough is an impossibility if we truly believe in our oneness with the Creator of all that is. Third one is hate, founded in ignorance or lack of information, and infused with arrogance. Hate believes in both superiority and inferiority at the same time. Hate wants to believe it is superior to others, but it fears it is inferior, often seeing in itself what it fears most in others. Hate embraces the imaginary divide of otherness. Anyone or anything that challenges hate's beliefs and prejudices and intolerance represents a threat. I'll give you an example of that. Recently, I was in Dearborn, Michigan. I was visiting my son and his wife, my grandchildren. The kids like to go to the park quite frequently. So I'd walk the couple of blocks with them to the local park. And they would love to play on the swings, and my granddaughter just loved to climb a tree. She climbed the tree like a little monkey. Well, in that park, there were other families, many families. In fact, it seems like in Dearborn, Michigan, all the kids like to go to the park. Don't know what that is about. But most of those families, their mothers were dressed in burqas or headscarves. Wonderful families out there in the kind of cold sunshine this time of year. But they were playing together, and those kids played with my grandchildren. Well, one day, not too long after I arrived back home, I was describing this scene of all these families to an individual I know. And I indicated most of the mothers there were either wearing burqas or headscarves, Muslim families. And what he said was, yeah, I understand that even Minneapolis is overrun by them. And I just said, I wouldn't call it overrun, because they're all families, and they contribute so much to their community. You see, I gave him a reply using an I statement. I wouldn't call it overrun. But in our society today, we have so much of that. Believing others are inferior to us, or believing we're superior to others. And those two conditions, those two thoughts, those two attitudes, they merge together, and it's what is called hate. We hate even the good because we're not informed. We don't take the time. We don't take the opportunity to find out about others and who they are. who they really are from deep in their hearts. So, at the human level, cheered on by ego and the presence of fear, our emotions become enmeshed, opening the door for judgment. It may not always feel that way. Judgment is a fear-driven emotional reaction to feeling threatened by others. Because it is so pervasive in our culture, we become oblivious to judgment when it pops up countless times each and every day. You might wonder, is there a difference between judgment, as I've just described it, and discernment? Discernment is an observation or perception of what is with no opinion or emotions attached to it. In discernment, it is okay to see that we have no feelings or opinions about things. We just observe. In discernment, we are open and relying upon the input and guidance of an internal source, which we call infinite intelligence. And infinite intelligence, the source, God, Spirit, is incapable of judging anyone or anything, but because it perceives only the oneness that it is. Discernment is a filter through which we perceive life non-judgmentally, with no opinions and no emotions attached to it. Unlike discernment, judgment draws a line or demarcation between us and them with many assumptions. We make assumptions about other people and situations long before we've actually gathered all the necessary information. To assume is a past judgment without knowing all the details. We make assumptions skewed by our judgments and then reach a conclusion by building a case to support that judgment. So what do? We have opinions about others. We have an opinion about their race, their color, their occupation, their social status. All kinds of opinions. And then we watch our television news broadcasters and we find information that supports our opinions. That's judgment. Most of us do a great job of applying labels, such as good or bad or right or wrong or preferable or not preferable or wonderful or tragic or beautiful or ugly or fortunate or unfortunate, and so on. We apply it to about everything and everybody. But if we stop looking underneath those words and labels and are honest with ourselves, we will discover the emotions that drive them. Could you just imagine going one day with no need to seek approval or avoid disapproval and judgment from others? When we peel away the labels we've placed on others and ourselves, when we look beyond the judgments of age and gender, sexual orientation and size and nationality and language and color and intelligence and culture and religion and social status, we realize that we're very much the same. And it's the labels that separate us from each other. Because we all have come from the same place. Oneness with the beloved. And that is where one day we're going to return. Between those 2 points, there's a journey that we're born to take. Seeing that journey through the eyes of oneness rather than otherness is the ultimate resolution to this spiritual problem of judgment. After all, there's only one of us here. There's only one of us here. Did you get that? And it's not because I'm blind to everyone except you. There's only one of us here. And if there's only one of us here, what is there to judge? We're judging ourselves. There's only one of us here. There's only one of us on this planet. We breathe the same air. We drink the same water. There's only one of us. When we cast the net of judgment on another person, we ensnare ourselves. A great spiritual teacher one time said that. He said, "Judge not, or you will be judged." So I encourage you in this holiday season to think about, who am I excluding from my life, excluding from my community, excluding from my world, because I feel they're not good enough, not perfect enough? Do I have a right to exclude others from being my friend, my neighbor, my colleague? That's a question. I'll let you answer it. Thank you.
Okay. You know what to do. Our thoughts are prayer, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayer. Listen to what you're saying. We got higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is everywhere. And every thought indeed a prayer.
So as we go into this time of prayer and meditation, I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable, and just clear any thoughts from your mind in this very moment. Be in this present moment. There's a mystic poet. His name was Rumi. And he offers us a wonderful place in consciousness. He said, out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there's a field. I will meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other, do not make any sense. I'd like to ask you to join me in these moments in that field. That field where we're all one. There's no other. Let's go into a minute of silence. Let's just ponder that. There is no other. There is only one. So yes, out beyond the ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, in that field of life, let's meet the world there. Especially in this holiday season, as all of us, regardless of color or creed or religion, status in life, as we celebrate these holidays, let's meet each other there, in that place where the other makes no sense. So may it be. Amen.
May the blessings of God rest upon me. May God's peace abide in me. May God's presence illuminate my heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May the peace abide in you. May God's presence illuminate our heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon us. May God's peace abide in us. May God's presence illuminate our hearts now and forevermore. Now and forevermore.
The time in our service where we gratefully give of our time, our treasure, our offering to support this community. So if you take that offering in your hand and hold it lightly with thankfulness, and let's bless it. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, all that I receive. Thank you, God.
thanks. Let's get that choir on back up. People are pretty fast, caught on to that right away. Yeah, that's supposed to relate to walk a mile in my shoes, in my boots, my high-heeled boots, baby. Here's one that we always have fun doing, from Sly and the Family Stone. Are you ready to sha-sha? Let's go. Ooh, sha-sha. Ooh, sha-sha. Ooh, sha-sha. Ooh, sha-sha. Come on, guys. Sometimes I'm right, and I can be wrong. My whole beliefs are in my song. A butcher, a banker, a drummer, and then it makes no difference what group I'm in. I'm everyday people, yeah. So yeah. Different strokes for different folks, and so on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Ooh, sha-sha. We got live together. Woo! That's right. I am no better, and neither are you. We're all the same, whatever you do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then you can't figure out the bag I'm in. I'm everyday people. Yeah. Come on, girls.
There is a long hair that doesn't like the short hair for being such a rich one that will not help the poor.
Different strokes for different folks. So on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. Ooh, sha-sha. We got to live together. That's right. Tell it, Stevie.
There is a yellow one that won't accept the black one, that won't accept the red one, that won't accept the white.
Different strokes for different folks. So on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby. Ooh, sha-sha. I'm everyday people. Help us out. Two more times. Everyday people. Bring it home. Everyday people. Do we have kids?
Okay, I think we have some children peeking through the door back there. Come on in, kids.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine,
Nancy has had a plethora of wonderful events this season, including Santa's Workshop yesterday. And these are some representatives of her group. So, which one of you would like to start out? Okay. Ladies first.
Today we talked about Yeaw, and yeah.
Talked about us?
So they burn like a Yule log
Oh.
that like it's very big, and the celebration lasts like for 12 days, I think. And it just is like the burning log represents like the light coming back for the spring and summer.
Today we had Yule log, which is a treat, and we have it by the bookstore, so we'd like if you could come and have some.
Oh, good. Nancy, do you want to conclude the
I just wanted to
word or
say, I
two?
wanted to thank everybody. We had a wonderful Santa's Workshop yesterday. It was so much fun. But I wanted to call some people out because I had so much help. It was amazing. So Jim and Barbara, you guys were wonderful. Thank you so much for all of your help. And Gail, thank you for your help, sweetheart. And who else? Let's see. The loudmouth. Oh, that one. I'm looking around. Yes, and Lisa, it was wonderful. So thank you guys so much. Couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for you young people. So you can go and sit down with your parents. Oh. Good catch there. Thank you. Hey, I wanted to mention something to you. We had a number of announcements. I didn't do this at the beginning of the service. I've spent quite a bit of time this week having Sharon and myself certified as part of the faculty of Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute, which is our seminary. The reason I'm doing that is we got 2 people in our congregation that would like to possibly take some seminary classes, which eventually leads to either a licensed Unity teacher or a Unity minister. So the only thing I've got to say, if any of you are interested in inquiring about this and being involved in these seminary classes, I'd love to give you one of these brochures. All right? So with that, let's go ahead and circle up if you're able to. Or stay in the seat if you're more comfortable. So thank you for being here. You provide the energy of this service. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do this. So let's all participate in the prayer protection and in the peace song together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.